everyone, I hope you've been well. So, recently I finished Chi즈in더트랩. I had some feels, and seeing as I wanted to do more K-drama reviews on this channel, I thought we're gonna chit chat about this. Let's discuss. So, this drama really piqued my interest. Like the first episode, I was hooked. I was ready. I was like, take me wherever you're gonna take me, drama, because I'm ready for this ride. I'm ready for this roller coaster. I'm ready for these emotions. I wasn't quite ready for the confusion. What really hooked me was the way they portrayed the lead protagonist, like the male protagonist, because he seemed to have quite a dark side. He didn't really, like, you knew he was going to be the main like love interest, but in the beginning, like the first few episodes, he didn't really seem to care too much for the main lead. And like, I know that a lot of the times with K-dramas, they start off like hating each other and like bickering, but he seemed very sinister. So what I'm going to discuss with you today are some of the good, the bad, and the downright confusing. There will be spoilers, so if you don't like spoilers, then you can just like skip ahead or something right to the end. Okay, so at the beginning of the drama, we can see that the main lead, the female protagonist, is a little bit scared of Yoo-jung Sunbae. We're going to call him Sunbae for like this whole review. She's a bit scared of him, he's a bit weird, I'm a bit confused, but I think I like it. I wish I took more notes at the beginning, because I didn't, when I started watching this drama, I didn't think I was going to do a review of this, and I was getting to the end of it and I was like, I need to discuss this with someone, I must talk about it, I must share. From what I remember, it all kind of started, like their weird relationship started when he poured beer accidentally on purpose on this girl who wouldn't leave him alone, who liked him whilst they were having like barbecue and beer. And so the lead female protagonist saw him, kind of sneers at him, and then I guess from then on he kind of has it out for her because she saw the real him. I don't really know why that would cause him to go after her, but this is just, I guess, the beginning of the confusion with this drama. Do you know what? Let's talk about some of the good points of this drama, because it did have quite a few of them. Like, for example, the fact that they got together quite early. I think it was like episode, I want to say 5 or 6. There wasn't a lot of the will they, weren't they. I do kind of like that, but I do like that they got together quite early. It was very random the way it happened, because she spent most of the beginning running away from him, and he was like, yo, let's go out. And she was like, okay, and then they were dating, and that was it. That was very odd how they got together, but they got together early, which I did like. I really like the fact that Seoul didn't leave much leeway for misunderstandings, because usually, like, for example, there was a bit where Sunbae got her like a weird plushy phone charm thingy, which she ended up losing by accident, and it was found by that weird girl that was like trying to steal her life. But she told him straight away and they looked for it. Usually in dramas, she would lose that little trinket and then she wouldn't tell the main guy, and then days will pass and then he will see it somewhere else or with somebody else, and then all this confusion would ensue, and then he's angry and it's plot point. But I like that they didn't do that in this drama. There was also the fact that she did not take crap from people. Like, she questioned things, which logically, you would think that a lot of characters in K-dramas would do, but they don't. But she did, and I like that. There was a bit where Sunbae told her to stay away from Inho, like the second lead guy, and rather than like being like the usual female character of like, okay, you told me to stay away from this guy and I'm gonna listen to you, she was like, but why? You're telling me to keep away from this person, but you're not telling me why. You're gonna need to give me some sort of valid reason. And I was clapping. I was like, yeah, you asked for some reasons. So those for me were like the big points. The fact that she was very confident, and it was part of her character development, because she didn't start off that way. She was kind of like the character who people took advantage of, but over time she kind of just stopped taking crap from people, and I really like that. So whilst this drama did have its good points, there were quite a few bad points that just got on my nerves. Can we just discuss the fact that almost none of the characters, apart from Seoul, got any sort of character development? Like Sunbae, it just all happened on the last episode. That chubby guy that mooched off everybody, stole people's notes, pretty much messed up people's life, didn't really see the error of his ways. Like at the end on the last episode, he kind of like talked about like, I know I'm a bit rubbish, but you were really mean to me. That was about it. Like nobody really learned from their mistakes. That weird girl that tried to steal Sol's life, she got bullied by somebody and then just kind of took a year off and left. So we never got to see like her kind of seeing the error of her copycat ways, learning, and like Sol being like, I'm sorry for being mean, here's an apology. There was none of that. It was just kind of crammed into the last episode, and that's what really annoyed me, because nothing seemed to be dealt with throughout the whole drama except on the final episode. Like I definitely feel like it needed maybe like an episode or two just to kind of flesh out everybody's stories, tie up loose ends. It just seemed very rushed towards the end. Who was I supposed to root for? Because Yoo Jong-sunbae was weird. Like he was a weird male protagonist. I get that he had some sort of like issues as a kid, like through flashbacks they talked about it. His dad was aware. His dad wasn't asked, because I thought for once we're gonna have like a really nice chaebol parent. They're not gonna be weird, but then he wants to adopt Baek In-na and Baek In-ho just so that they can watch over his son, as opposed to like getting some new family members. That was really mean when we found that out. He's a horrible dad, and we kind of see where like he gets it from, because the dad stifled Yoo Jong-sunbae, and then like it made him a bit weird and a bit sadistic. Like he was actually very, very strange. And then this left me wondering, who am I supposed to root for? Because we all know that the second lead is never going to get the girl. The main lead obviously is supposed to get the girl, but I'm not rooting for you. Like they had some very cute moments together, but he was just very weird to the point that I felt like sometimes it was a bit irredeemable. Like he did a lot of things to help her out, and there was a lot of misunderstanding that came towards him because of it, but he never really bothered to clarify it. So whilst I like that Sol never let things, you know, misunderstandings occur, for him there was just misunderstandings everywhere, and it was just very frustrating. You can kind of see when they do the flashbacks of the way like he weaves a tangled web for people. So like the way he has people trip up on their own lies. But I just didn't like the fact that this guy, he just seemed to have a bit of a god complex, because we get it, you're rich, people use you a lot, and you feel like they don't like you for who you are, blah blah blah, whereas me, you're rich, blah blah blah. But the way he went about doing certain things didn't really endear me to him as a character. Like for example, the chubby guy, I can't remember his name, we'll just call him Chubby. So when he set up that interview for his dad's company and then coached him on stuff to say so that he would fail, just because he stole notes that he had given to Sol. And then this guy, even though everybody knows that this guy has basically no future because he just mooches off everybody, he doesn't really work that hard, he had an interview lined up. Sunbae changes the date of his company's interview, gets him that fake interview, tells him all that crap so that he'll fail and miss out on the actual proper job prospects. Now, whilst this character was an annoyance, whilst he was horrible and we all wanted to see some sort of payback, some sort of karma, that was just completely wrong way to do it. And I wasn't left feeling like, oh my gosh, yeah, go you're giving this guy his comeuppance. I'm like, that was really bloody harsh. I did like the fact that at the end he breaks up with her, because he does not need to be with anybody. He needs to be on his own. He needs to go and do some soul searching and find out like what's wrong with him. I think he just needs to see a therapist. Like that's what needs to happen here in this drama. He needs to see a therapist and like speak out his issues, because he's got a lot of repressed feelings and a lot of things that he's manifesting in very, very strange ways. I also like the fact they had a gay couple in there, because you almost never see that in K-dramas. But then they didn't get their closure either, because one of them got hit with a brick with that weird guy that was like stealing people's stuff in the neighborhood, and then the same guy that was stealing people's stuff framed the other one and put underwear in there in his house to make it look like he was like a weird panty thief. And then Yoo Jong threatened him because he thought he was like a threat to Sol and told him to go back to his parents or something. I don't really know. We never really got closure from that storyline or that couple. That was really annoying. I really wanted them to stay throughout the whole drama, but they just kind of was shooed away and that was it. So it was a bit half-hearted. There was just so many frustrating storylines that were started and not tied up properly. The one with the gay couple being one. The one with the stalker being a very annoying one, because that led to a huge bit of misunderstanding with Sol and Sunbae, but it was just kind of glossed over because she just kind of forgave him, even though he basically sent a guy after her to stalk her for a whole year or whatever it was. Granted, he didn't write the rest of the message, but it just didn't seem to really affect him that much, even though this is the girl that he's like fighting and threatening people over. He just kind of seemed like, yeah, I did it, sorry. She's like, oh, I forgive you, I get this is part of your quirk, let's hug it out, okay. Like, I was like, is that it? Is that how we're gonna finish this? So I was just left so frustrated. Like, it had such promise and then it just kind of fizzled. I know that this is based off of a very popular webtoon on Naver, and I've already saved that to my favorites list, so I'm getting ready. Once I'm like down with my Korean grammar and whatnot and down with my vocab, I will be reading that one because I really want to know like how the proper storyline goes, and I'm pretty sure it's been translated into English, but I want to read it in Korean, so that's going to be a while, so no spoilers on that, please. So guys, that is my long and rambly review of Chiizeinthetrap. I did on the whole kind of enjoy it. It was kind of fun, but on the whole a bit of a letdown. Let me know what you think. Did you guys enjoy it? Did it have you like, was it your drama crack? Let me know below in the comment section, and I will speak to you guys all next time. Bye.